Good evening, Ms. Meena.
Hello, hi.
It's an absolute pleasure to have you with us. This is Dr. Swaroop representing Magic 20 Tamil. So tell us about your diamond journey.
Yes. So, hi everybody. I am Meena. I am 19 years old. So, I started off liking diamonds and gemstones when I was around 13 years old. That was the first time that I got super inspired. And since we're talking about Magic Tamil, the founder, I'm pretty sure CK Kumaravel sir, was one of my huge mentors, and he brought my journey to a great extent. So 13 years old was when I started off fashion. I used to sell jewelry, fake jewelry in school. I used to really love that, and I made some money. The money was used for buying chips and junk, which my parents never allowed. It slowly went on to me becoming an interested in digital marketing in my mom's company. And then eventually I was like, you know what, I want to do something serious, something more luxurious. I really love jewelry, I love dressing up, I love styling. But how am I going to put that into luxurious category is what I wanted to know. And that's when I was like, okay, diamonds are the thing right now, and it's going to be the thing for quite a long time because diamonds are forever. And also the fact that diamonds make you feel good. More than anything else, when you wear a jewelry, you feel absolutely wonderful, and I've always felt like that. When I wear a gold jewelry and when I wear a diamond jewelry, it is completely two different things. And for me, that made a huge difference. And I knew that everybody felt the same way, every woman,
Right.
because when you wear a Rolex and when you wear something else, it's totally two different things, right?
Absolutely.
So exactly, and I went to Bombay. I studied about diamonds. I studied in International Institute of Gemology. Wonderful tutors, wonderful teachers. I had the best of the best possible. They taught me every single thing that they could. I went to classes even on Sundays because that's just how much I loved. I completed the course. I came back to Chennai and I started off my company as a private limited company. And it's been close to 10 months now. We've made good client range and good business as well. Thankful and very grateful. I've had, a lot of people teach me. A lot of my clients teach me a lot of things as well. And it's been a humble experience. It's been very nice.
I was sure we have a very young and dynamic entrepreneur for the show, but I didn't know you were this young. So, wishing the new generation a lot, wishing you a lot of bliss going forward. So, tell us about you start off young,
Yeah.
very young. Tell us about your mindset and the role your family played in grooming you to where you are today.
Okay. This is a very nice question. So, the Gen Z way we think is very different from the way traditional Indian parents think. I wouldn't call my parents very traditional because they were very open to me to try out different things. My dad played a huge role in my life. To everything I am right now, it's completely him. He's been my mentor. He's been pretty much everything for me. I've had my times when I've been like, oh my God, why is Appa doing it? Why is Appa, controlling so much? I'm just a kid. But I am truly, genuinely grateful for every single thing that's happened in my life and for every single part he has played. And my mom has been always this cushion, giving me the support every time I cry. She's like, it's okay, things will get better. And now it's gotten super good. So business aspect per se, I have a lot of views which are more forward thinking. They say, businessmen, so I have this ideology which I think is one thing that stuck with me. Businessman is basically a person who deals with somebody else's money and gets something out of it.
Right.
And that's how you grow humongously. If you want to put in your own money, it can only go to a certain extent. It can't go to a great extent. And for me, I want to make a humongous extent. Even though I'm getting only 5 or 6% share in the company, if that 5-6% is 50,000 crores, how does it matter if I have 100% company and I get only 5 crores? It doesn't make sense, right? So I've been in that kind of mindset. My parents, obviously, coming from a very traditional, background, my dad bootstrapped all of his money for his company. He's made good money. He's touched more than 100 crores and all that. He's got the company to a great extent all by himself, and which is great, but it could have been better with, investment, with the forward thinking, with the way Gen Z are working. I kind of feel I have that feeling towards me. They don't stop me. My parents do not stop me, but they still have influence to a certain extent, which kind of makes me also rethink, is what I would say. But now, coming to all these business conferences and meeting a lot of people, I'm getting more and more, confidence to go in that way, because I know for a fact that I have confidence in me. And I know what I can do, and I know what I can provide, and what the company can do as a whole. All we need is how can we go expand in a great manner.
Absolutely, absolutely. Network is definitely our net worth, ain't it? Global Business Conclave 2025.
Yes.
As impacted you?
So the very first session when I came to was something about investment, right? It was something that I really genuinely needed, and the first session kind of triggered something in me to go back home and talk to my parents and be like, you know what, should we try going out to venture capitalists and then, you know, expand and whether liquidate the company and do anything we have to grow in a much bigger and larger scale. And even though diamond jewelry as a whole is a traditional business, and you know it is a very highly competitive, highly conventional business, I still think after hearing Aman's speech, I asked the same question to him, and I'm very glad he also, you know, he thought it was a great question and he answered back, and his answer was absolutely right. Because
I liked the way you did not mention about your industry and you just stuck to your question when you spoke to Aman.
Yes, because that was mentioned, right? So it's nice to maintain what you're expected to.
Absolutely.
That shows the class.
Fully agree with you.
Yes, and him as a person, he's there to give something and I'm there to take. So that was the right moment for me to take in what I wanted, and I kind of got what I wanted. So I think that was wonderful. This entire, the way it's been structured, and Aman as a whole has been inspiration for me. I really love him. I love Shark Tank as a whole, and I love Aman very particularly because the way he deals with different kind of, you know, participants who come, and the way he kind of gives the replies, and him also being a little bit of Gen Z mode is absolutely wonderful to see.
Total kick-ass.
Yes, total kick-ass. And it was very nice to, you know, see all these different kind of people, and Kupu Lakshmi ma'am, oh my god, the knowledge she has, the way she delivers things, the way she throws, out her words, the way she maintains the composure, it's just something to learn from. And she just had it so perfect. And when I went and spoke to her personally, she said that it was built over so many years of practice. And it was not like this the very first day. And I used to be an introvert to a great extent. I never spoke to people. I was very scared of talking to people. I was fat, ugly, and all that, whatever you can say, very stereotypical, like how Samira ma'am said. I was ignored by a lot of people. But I think in one way,
there's a lot of effort, much more than what we see, that's brought you here.
And I'm glad that people ignored me. I'm glad that people said that I looked ugly. I'm glad people said mean things to me, because all those mean things kind of, I don't take offense, but rather I just feel sorry for myself, and I'm like, oh, I cannot feel sorry. How do I change it?
We always need this one setback to give a comeback, right?
Yes, we definitely do.
So what is that one book that you would give credit to?
Rich Dad Poor Dad.
Amazing. That's so good to hear.
I love that book. I think that book, it's all about, you know, what I really resonate with. There is this one quote that I really love from Rich Dad Poor Dad. I think a lot of us will know. Money cannot buy every single thing, but money will buy every single thing that values and matters so much to you.
Bang on, man.
And I'm like, when I read that, I was like, this needs to be there on my room, because when I talk about money, people are like, oh, why always money? You know, so many things can give you much better happiness. It's true, but like, why would I want to sit inside a bus when I can sit inside a Porsche? So it makes a lot more sense that way, right? And I can. So if I can be extra, why be less?
Fully agree with you. Rich Dad Poor Dad is very close to my heart as well.
Glad.
I fully resonate with you that money can get us a lot of things.
It most certainly can.
Absolutely.
If somebody says it can't, they've just not had the enough amount of money.
Rather cry in a pasha.
Yes, rather cry. Yeah, exactly.
So do you also mentor people?
No, not exactly. Not as of now. I do have a lot of mentors.
Because I have a 12-year-old daughter whose father wants to get mentored by you. I'm that inspired.
Oh, I'm so glad.
Thank you so much for your time. It's been
wonderful.
Great meeting you.
Wonderful.
What a pleasure.
Thank you.